we're doing commentary, and somebody gets taken down, and a guy starts to get into the positions where I get quiet because you're better there, and you start walking through the submissions, how it's getting set up, and I'm like, oh, this dude's done. The guy on top is waiting. He's taking too long to address what's happening, and then next thing you know, oh my God, triangle, right? Because it's not just when the legs go up. You're like, this dude's he's starting to set up a triangle, and I'm like, he is, right? He's waiting. You got to always be in motion. You got to always be kind of thinking about the next step. Are you screwed? If you start accepting, you're screwed.
When you look at the guys that are really good at MMA submissions off their back, like Oliveira's real good. It's so crisp, though. When he gets those moments, those openings, just crisp.
Yep. Right. Dude, he was in shape.
Well, Hackelman, he's a great psycho. I love that dude. Like really unusual training, like wheelbarrows filled with rocks and shit, pushing him uphill. That training center that he had in San Luis Obispo,
it looked like it was outdoor.
Yeah, the cage was outdoors.
Yeah, I always looked at it like, are these guys training outside?
Hackelman's funny, man.
Yeah,
he's a fun dude. But he just was the first to realize that, like, functional training.
Functional training.
This kind of work, those like really hard physical work, along with technique.
Yeah,
it's like it's interesting when you go back to the pioneers, how they all had to figure it out on their own. Like,
and that's what it was.
Figured it out on their own. The Lions Den did it their way.
And Militich trained like a bunch of champions.
Oh,
we got to start again. So now I got to start that process all over again. And that's why Khabib Nurmagomedov was so special. Because it didn't matter how many times he had to restart the process. He went right back to doing that with his opponent, knowing that he was going to throw you to the ground. So when you're fighting guys like Jones, he's so tall, he's so rangy, and he just understood fighting. The guy just understands fighting. And it makes him hard to deal with. And then, Joe, when you get in a clinch with this dude, he's so tall that it's almost like you're holding him up if you're the shorter fighter. He's like draping over the top of you. And that is what fatigues you. Because when I'm clinching, I fought there a ton. Like, just in the clinch, punch, punch, punch. I'm trying to break your posture. He doesn't do that. He pushes you against the octagon, and then he leans. So now you're carrying 220 with your weight up against the octagon, and it's like, and then he's changing level.
Very odd.
And he's like, and then if you get close, it's the right hand. Even that thing he does, when he's walking out, he does this.
You go to sleep. Everybody goes to sleep.
Yuri's in there dancing and shit. Yuri's like doing all kind of like weird stuff, right? And Alexa's like,
just stone face.
Like, I'm going to.
It's one of the greatest stare downs ever.
I'm going to kill you. Is what he's thinking. Like, this dance your weird ass. I'm going to kill you.
Who's the guy that he scissor kicked? He scissor kneed Michaelides?
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
I thought you were lying, bro. I thought you were lying. The whole time, Joe. I'm sitting to your right. I'm like, man, Joe Rogan up in here lying to me, man, telling me this.
Some extra power. It was shocking. He would hit guys, boom, and they would just like snap and flatline. You're like,
with 10 ounce gloves.
Fuck, man, he's doing it to everybody. Like, literally everybody he's connecting on is going night-night. And he does it in two different weight classes simultaneously. So when that guy was going to fight MMA, I'm like, hold on, baby. Because this is going to be some wild shit. This is an extraordinary dude.
And he was 3-1 when he made his debut in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
And you knew that if he was able to win a couple, he would rush him to Izzy. And he got there and he beat him. And is he going to be more durable now?
Right.
Because TJ Dillashaw, when he went to 125, he was a shell of himself.
That was a terrifying weight cut, too. God, he looked like dead man walking.
Yeah.
He looked like someone who was dying.
What do you think, as a fighter, I actually liked the afternoon weigh-in better. I liked the afternoon weigh-in opposed to the morning weigh-in.
Why is that?
More time and sleep. The night before, you got to sleep. Because if you woke up at 7, 8 over, you had all day Friday to make the weight. On fight day.
219 on fight day.
Come on, man. What? 25 pounds, bro.
That's so big.
That's 25 pounds.
It's really nuts.
But again, that's because they have so much time, though. Because if he weighs in at 11 a.m. on Friday morning, he doesn't cut all of his weight. So with us, we would go on Thursday night. If I weighed 216 and I had to be 5 by Friday morning, I would get as low as I possibly could and then try to go to bed. So if I'd get to 207, I would hope that by the morning I'd be 206. I'd only have to lose a pound in the morning. So I'm dehydrated for 12, 13, 14 hours. Those guys today are going to bed at that weight, Joe. 10, 11 over, and waking up at like 4 or 5 in the morning and cutting the weight. Because they said if they cut all that plastic top, sweat top, hat, I would go right out of there because that would take me to like 15 minutes in the sauna. I would walk straight to the treadmill, Joe. Then I'm on the treadmill. I run a mile, but only at 5 because now my heart's doing this because it's hot from the sauna. It's like, then I'm trapping all this heat in. I get out, I'd run for a mile, 12 minutes. Now I'm at 27 minutes. Then I walk. I walk for 20 minutes on 2. If my heart rate slowed, I would put a little bit in incline, go to 3. Walk for 20 minutes. Now I'm at 47 minutes. I get off of the treadmill, go straight to the ground where they wrap me for 13 minutes. And in those 13 minutes, I'm hurt, Joe. I'm hurt. I'm laying there. I mean, people are like, no.
How many bags would you take?
2.
Wow.
16 pounds. That's what they say.
Why don't they allow before you do an IV? Yeah, why don't you? What if they had like a thing where you had to say, "Hey, I'm planning on taking an IV. Will you guys come and test me before I take the IV?"
Yep.
And come and test them. That should be easy.
That should be easy.
And then you could get your IV.
Well, they're getting tested anyways.
Yeah,
they're getting tested constantly. So
and this new organization, what is it? A drug-free sport? Is that what it's called?
I don't know. I actually don't even know which one it is.
There's a new organization, but Dana White speaks very highly of them. So
yeah.
I wish they would allow guys to use things like BPC 157.
The peptides, like that. One of my buddies is really big on peptides. He said it's helping him. He said it's helping him a lot.
Oh boy.
So we get to fighting, right? And we're fighting, and Joe, the security guard from the UFC, falls under me. But now I'm on my back as we go flying off the stage. I will say there was a thought to bite the motherfucker. It's like, what am I doing on my back? Right? I'm losing.
Yeah, right.
Bite the son of a bitch. I ain't got no mouthpiece in my mouth. Like, and if I would have bit him, that would have been like a reaction for a guy that usually will walk around in most places around this world as the alpha. And then when he finds himself on the bottom as the alpha, he's got to find a way to survive. So that's what Mike Tyson would do. He would go as primal as he could think. How do I survive? It was always survival with this guy. Wow. And if I would have bit him, you'd have been like, DC bit him, but it's not the first time we saw somebody bite a motherfucker down there. Because Mike Tyson did it 3 times. It's like it's so unfamiliar. I told my kids the other day at wrestling practice, Joe, I said, my whole life, I feared getting pinned so much that I don't even sleep on my back to this day. Because I don't want those fuckers laying on their back in the wrestling room. I said I fell asleep on my back one day and woke up in a full panic attack. Jones had me on my back, man. That shit's unfamiliar. So if I would have did some crazy shit, that's just what would have happened. That's what would have happened. Because you know what, man? If I just see, there's a possibility for me to get all this money and come back as the champ. And then his pride got in the way. And he got up there and he finished the fight. He was down 3 rounds to 1 at that time. And he fought. And I thought it was a mistake because he took a legal lead. But whatever. You know, it is what it is. But I think when you look at these, and he got, Jones got deducted a point and still won the fight comfortably. That's how much he was ahead.
Yeah.
So 2 points. He got a 2-point deduction.
Boom.
And still won. Yeah. Crazy stuff, man.
Yeah. There's certain deductions. Like who knows what kind of an impact that had.
Yeah.
Did he have a concussion? Is he too tough for his own good? If you get a concussion from an illegal shot, what are you supposed to do? Because now you're really vulnerable.
That's the thing.
You can get hit.
I think boxing is a much more brutal sport, and I love boxing.
We haven't talked that much about Francis.
Okay.
Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Because how shocking was that?
That was crazy, dog. It was the craziest thing. And guess what else? You know why?
Why?
Because Deontay Wilder almost killed him. He got up and he took more damage, and his brain might be. Tyson Fury has been hit by some of the most dangerous dudes in the world.
Yes.
And now you're getting hit by Francis. who might hit harder than any of them.
He might hit harder than all of them.
Dude, Francis Ngannou knocked Tyson Fury down.
And
he's an amateur, bro.
This is his first ever professional fight. That's what's so crazy.
That, you know what was so beautiful about that? He actually countered him perfect.
Yeah.
He had his right hand up, and he hit him with a little check left hook. It was one of the most, jumping out of the plane's crashed. You can hear somebody go, "Oh no!" And then they fall off the
wing,
but they're all wearing parachutes because they were gonna go and jump. But these two planes came together, and then hearing a person go, "Oh no," was crazy. But morbid knowledge is nuts. Like, it says, like, it'll show like an x-ray of a person that might have gotten into a bad accident or something. It showed a picture one time, Joe, of a person whose body, they x-rayed the body when they had been hit by a train. Dude, it was crazy. The rib cage and everything, Joe, it was crazy. I don't know where it popped up on my thing, but once I saw it, I was like, oh man, dude, they had a guy.
I was trying to find a video. I saw a video on Twitter of an eagle carrying a squirrel, and it drops it, and it swoops down and catches it before it
in the air before it fell.
Yeah. Wow, it was sick. I'm trying to find it right now.
Dude, I'm telling you, I watch stuff like that because when you're just sitting around and when you finally get a moment, right, and you grab your phone, some weird shit pops up there, and then you're just stuck.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you've passed 30 minutes watching just crazy-ass videos.
Watching eagle videos.
Lions, like
have you ever
tigers.
seen the videos of the eagles taking the sheep and throwing them off the cliffs?
No.
Yeah.
Throw them off the cliff to kill them and then go eat them.
Yeah. They take
Please
goats.
show me that.
They take goats. They take sheep.
They can pick up a goat.
Yeah, they just pick you up enough to throw you over the edge.
Oh, my goodness. Please show me that. And, but look at this, though, Joe. Everybody would just watch. I was like, that's probably the only one I got for a month. And then at times I thought he might be letting me. I'm like, yo, are you letting me score, man? Because I wrestled you in competition and I ain't never scored. But he was just too good, Joe. He beat me in Olympic semifinals. And Khabib had him in his gym every day.
Wow.
He bought, and Khabib is a great guy, right? He bought hotels for him. He'd feed him. He said, just get him here. And, dude, they trained for a month. They told me, they said, Coach, we practice with you. He goes, in Dagestan, it's training. Because it's in the morning, it's in the midday, and it's
how much you can deal with discomfort. No one trains harder than wrestling.
I think everybody should wrestle, and I think everybody should have a human being, if they do themselves justice, has some sort of interaction against another human being where it's a bit of a fight. You have to. I think once you do that, you can do anything. Because then you're not afraid. You cannot be.
Never mess with people. I don't mess with nobody, Joe. I literally just walk around trying to live in my own world, man. I'm happy. I hope you're happy. Like, let's just all live this. That's not reality. It's not reality in the world you live in. I'm like, well, it's better than trying to live in a world that's just awful.
Yeah. Well, you have some effect on the people around you, for sure.
Yeah.
If you live life happy, you can always run into the wrong people.
Yeah, for sure. That's real. They're just bad people. They got bad people. Like, some people are bad people, man. I'm like, God, you're a bad person.
Historically, that's always been the case.
Yeah.
There's always historically been bad people.
Just evil mugs, too.
Well, people that have been lost. Been fucked over themselves.
Yes.
Mostly it's kids. People who want to become alcoholics.
She picked him, Joe.
Absolutely a serial killer. The banana. And really good. No one has any idea.
Joe,
Imagine people were laughing about that.
can you believe that?
Oh,
I'm calling the banana. Like, some of this shit don't seem real. Hey, man.
Everyone's like, it's like the banana.
That gal was going to get killed by this guy.
Yeah.
It's gone.
He's gone. Yeah, so I guess the rest of the family has to pick up a slack or something. Wow. Killer in Long Island. Yeah, man.
Serial killer. Why? Dude, it's so weird because but can a serial killer exist today?
Yes.
Do you think so?
Yes.
No chance.
Exactly. Yeah.
With all that, listen, DNA. And it was what led to the guy getting caught. She was randomly like up, which they like if you're doing something wrong, for the most part, somebody's gonna witness it.
Well, the thing is, yeah, you're very likely to be caught.
Yeah.
Right? Especially if they go looking for you. But there was this one dude that studied, did he go to school for criminal, something? He went to school for something to learn the laws. So you get around some dude scamming people around you.
Yeah.
What's going on with you? What's happening here?
But like right now, like here's what I always wonder, right? And I know why. Like when you enjoy going to the UFC, because it's just like you've been going forever. Right? It's gonna be a great fight. I believe Joe. For every sport that we have the honor of calling, less than Colby Covington. He's not the biggest, he's not the fastest, not the strongest, but he wins. And with those abilities, right, he has become a two-time NCAA All-American. He has been the UFC interim champion. He's fought for the belt 2 times, and he's fighting for the belt another time. But nothing about Colby jumps off the page. He's meat and potatoes, as meat and potatoes as he is.